I was asked to do an interview for Mystic Mag. It was published in their magazine. They're an American company. But I thought for my first episode, I would just go over that with you. They called it Hear the Voice of Spirit with Julie Turner-Adkin. So I'll just tell you the questions that they asked. The first one was, when did you realise you have a healing gift and how did it come about? From a very young age, I was aware of spirits around me. Although, as I saw them literally, I thought they were friends. I often had a spare seat beside me at school where a spirit friend would be sitting, although others could not see them. Around the age of 10, I no longer saw these spirits. They told me they were going to other schools, whereas in fact the spirit world realised I was beginning to be teased for seeing things and decided to leave me for a while I was ready to accept them again. I can remember saying to my mum, my friends never did write to me. She probably looked a bit puzzled, not knowing what I meant. It was after my dad died when I was 28 that my spirit world started to return to me. I then began to study massage and aromatherapy, and I realised that my messages and my massages were deeper and more than just a physical level. I also went deeper into healing emotions too. My daughter, Emily, as a baby, had very sore and painful thrush. The doctor said he'd not seen such a bad case for a long while. It turned out that Emily actually had an egg allergy, but I didn't realise that. I'd given her scrambled egg for breakfast. But in my desperation, I held my hands over her body and asked for the rash to be taken away. I probably only sat there for about 5 minutes doing that. Probably even adding a prayer, not knowing really what I was doing. The next day, the doctor called back to see how things were, and he was completely surprised to see that her skin was perfectly smooth. I told him of my thoughts on healing, and he was sceptical but open to the idea. And I guess he just thought, well, if it's better, why not believe it? Over time, I believe that healing comes from wanting things to be different. I wanted her to be well. And I believe that negative thoughts that are left unattended and ignored can turn into physical problems. We are usually more inclined to look for help with a physical problem rather than search for the cause and heal beforehand. We don't always understand to maintain our own health or our own thoughts. It's an ongoing process. The next questions were, what therapies do I offer? I began with Swedish massage as my main therapy, but after 20 years of massaging and helping others with the repetitive strain and pressure, my hands began to suffer, and I made the decision to completely stop heavy physical treatments and favoured more of my spiritual work, which is beginning to take over. It was a difficult decision to make, as the massage had been my friend for many years and earned me regular money. And as people generally understood that massage, you feel a bit sore, you have the massage and it feels better instantly. I had a very good regular clientele, and it was very difficult to then decide to call it a day. Some of these people I'd known for over 18 years. They'd become part of my family as I had theirs. My first ever client, her daughters came, her grandson came, and I just knew them all for years, and it was very difficult to make that decision to cut these people from my life. Of course you can still see them, but it's never the same as that one-to-one time we spent together. So I listened, and I listened to my hands, and I listened to the message it was giving me. Reflexology was okay, it was just using my thumbs and a very light massage, and I still connected with the aromatherapy oils. But crystal healing is my big passion, and I've been a practitioner using crystals since the year 2000. I'll talk about my journey on another day. I now, in fact, teach crystal healing in a very different way to how I was taught, but it was my big dream to teach this. One of my desires was to teach crystal healing at a retreat, and I in fact achieved that last year. It was amazing. We went to Glastonbury. Sound therapy using gongs and other percussion instruments is a wonderful way for people to relax and let the vibrations heal their mind and bodies. And I, with a friend Jay, we run regular gong baths. And I also help to teach gong baths with Emerald Sky. We feel that sound is the new yoga. It's a great thing to feel those vibrations, and it's making life-changing things for people, changing the way they feel. I also do readings, tarot readings, and I believe that these help to change people's thoughts. It's not so much to see what's coming. The tall, dark, handsome stranger is the thing that most people think about tarot. People are a little bit afraid of tarot because I think it's often very exact, but the way I use it is to help people to see how they can move into the future they want. I also teach tarot. I've got a very simple method that it's foolproof really. I get the student to see what the cards mean to them, and then they'll always remember. I also do clairvoyant work. These messages do come through at reading. And clairvoyant is another part I will talk about later. I was asked, what is auric field tuning? So auric field tuning, I believe, is a real life-changing therapy. It's a system that I devised having listened to Eileen McCusack, who really studied it. She has gone very in-depth into it. And I took some of her parts of her methods and also the work that I use with my crystals and just generally work that I've used over the years. Tuning forks are a way to bring vibrations directly to the body. It's also a therapy that I'm teaching now. In a private session, this therapy can release triggers from your past to enable you to move forward. People often repeat patterns that they have learned throughout their lives, but these no longer serve them and may not even be their patterns. It's such a life-changing therapy as you no longer react to past behaviours, you move forward into the new, free of these past burdens. I've had incredible results with this therapy. It's an interactive session lasting around 90 minutes, ending with a wonderful sound bath. This is something you can look up on my website, and there's also some YouTube videos there of me carrying out therapy sessions. It's interesting. You can also do them distance, so I've done them etherically with the person's not been there. They've probably been my most surprising, I would say, because you still pick up things even though the person isn't there. The next question was, what can a person expect from my healing sessions? So on my website, people can make a choice from sound, crystals or Reiki, but I always tailor the sessions to perfectly meet their needs. People often choose the word that's familiar or the therapy that's familiar or known to them, but I also offer a bespoke session, which some people now choose that. During the consultation, I listen to how the client is expressing how they are feeling. One of my greatest skills, I feel, is hearing how behind what people are saying. Pointing out the obvious often helps them to realise how they can actually help themselves to move forward. I'm just the facilitator. And even though I call myself Healing Possibilities, I would love to call myself Pointing Out the Bleeding Obvious, because that is what I spend most of my day doing to people. And I always laugh about that with a client, that they are coming along to be told something they already know. But I think when a stranger points something out to them, they hear it differently. Most people for their sessions lay comfortably on a therapy couch, and I begin a session with a meditation to help them focus away from their day-to-day world. I gear the meditation to a story they would like, either going to the woods or to the beach, somewhere they feel comfortable. The session usually lasts around 50 minutes before bringing them back into the here and now. I often give my clients homework to do, helping them to focus on what's important over the next few weeks. A gift of a crystal is often there too. The crystal can help them to remember the session. I usually give people a tea light as well, a little candle, and I often say to them they can light the candle to remember the things that we've spoken of. The next question they asked is, what is the most important detail in maintaining a relationship of mutual trust with customers? Honesty is the most important aspect of healing work. I am known for my upfront approach and for pointing out the obvious. I like to keep sessions light and offer ways to help people heal themselves. Confidentiality is a big must. I often see members of the same family or friends, and I feel it is important not to share anything that is said between them. I make it clear that my clients can contact me for support after their treatments. With technology today, it's very easy to write a request that I can answer once I'm available. People often prefer to write their thoughts down rather than actually talk on the phone. It's strange how things have changed over the years. Most people make an appointment from my website. I have my own diary on there. You can click and choose your own time and your own day. And it's amazing really how these days I very rarely meet a new client until they walk in the door. Whereas years ago it would have been a phone call or you met someone face to face. But it's a good thing because it makes it accessible to people. I always love meeting new clients, especially if they're recommended from somebody else, and I think that is still the best way. The next question was, what do you love most about your profession? Well, I feel very blessed that I work in a profession that I'm so passionate about. I have a high percentage of clients who go on to become students, signing up for my courses. This accelerates their own healing journey too, helping them to make their career choices, to change from jobs that they're not happy with or feel valued in. My motto is change your thoughts, change your life. People often come to me when they're at a crossroads in their life, and to offer them relaxation and motivation for change is wonderful. I've recently become involved in local council schemes such as Go Digital and eTip, which has helped small businesses to be more aware and using social media and technology. This is part of the comeback after our 2-year break. Part of this was getting involved to make Google reviews being part of my work, and I sent out requests for people, previous clients, previous students, to write a review on Google. And I felt so blessed with the responses from clients saying how much they valued my work. In fact, it was a bit like reading a eulogy for me. I was a little bit embarrassed really, or felt self-conscious at the kind words people said. And of course, I feel that I do help others. I absolutely love my work. That's what I love the most, is helping others. But to actually hear it and for people to have taken the time out to write as thank yous and to want their reviews to help other people, I was overwhelmed. It was amazing. So today it's just getting me started. I'm a great one for getting everything perfect, so I put things off until I know it can be no mistakes, no ums and ers. But I thought I just need to get started. That's what I say to all my clients, just do it. Doesn't matter if it's perfect, right or wrong, getting your voice out there. So today I hope that's what I've achieved. It's quite a short podcast, so hopefully it's something you can listen to. I want to say if there's any subjects that you'd like me to talk about, I have many in my head. I want to talk about crystals, chakras. I want to talk about vibrations and sound, the solfeggio range, how that vibration can change your world. So many things I'd love to talk to you about. The powers of Reiki, how that can change you. But if there's something particularly you'd like to hear about, do get in touch. I'll be listening to your messages and also hopefully getting some different podcasts together to talk about those. But for now I will close and thank you so much for listening to me. I'd love to hear from you.